today pretty much all of my pets, besides Hubble, he has had a lucky escape, are going to the vets or they're having some sort of treatment appointment. So I thought I'd bring you along and film a day in the life of all of my pets going to the vets. So one of the things that's happening later on today is my small pet vet Adele is coming to do a 6-monthly health check on all of the small pets, and this is something that comes as part of the package that I pay for, like a yearly subscription, and you get like a certain amount of health checks, free health checks, appointments, things like that. So it's already been 6 months since the last one, and I don't have rats anymore. Last time I didn't even have Nimbus yet. So it's an entirely different bunch of pets for her to check and look over. I do have a couple of concerns about a few of them that I'm going to mention, so that is happening. But first, this morning, I say morning, it's literally still so dark outside that it feels like nighttime. I'm so tired. We have got a physio appointment for River, so I need to get ready for that. Hubble is more than likely going to run away because any stranger coming into this house is the end of the world for him. But yeah, we've got a physio appointment for River, and I'll explain more about that later on in the video, about why she's having to have that. You're the lucky one not having to have anything done today. Although I would like to get you booked in to have your teeth cleaned, because you're a nasty boy and you won't let me do it. And your breath really stinks. You really stink. So for the majority of the mice, there's nothing during their health check I really want to mention. There is just 2 mice I want to kind of have a closer look at. So this is Sphinx, and because he's hairless, he has these really weird like warty growths on him. This was the first one that appeared, and then he's got another one towards the back of him, and he's had them for a fair while, so I'm not super concerned that they're anything cancerous or harmful to him. But yeah, just gonna have them checked over because they do get a little bit crusty and dry, but I think it is just unfortunately part of what comes with, are you okay, Ash? Part of what comes with being a mouse that doesn't have very much hair. They are a lot more susceptible to things like this, so that's just one thing that I wanted to have a quick check of. And then I think Cedar here has an eye infection in both eyes. This one actually looks okay, but the other one is, well, it's kind of open, but sometimes they are both crusted shut. So yeah, she doesn't look too terrible right now, but when she first wakes up, they are like glued shut, bless her. So it's come at the right time to have this health check and get her sorted with her little eyes. So that is the mice all ready to go in their carrier. Now it's time for the not so fun part of trying to get the chinchillas into their carrier. If you've watched any of my videos with the chinchillas recently, you'll know that I don't really pick them up because they are absolutely feral about it. So this should be fun. I am so gonna suffer the wrath of Nebby for the next 5 years for doing this. She is gonna be so mad, but I've already blocked them in the top section. And my theory is, I think I can tempt her in. Once I've got her in, I can grab Nimbus, because although he's much more of a shy chinchilla, Nebby bites when she's very, very angry. So Nimbus is actually easier to handle. I say easy, not really that easy. One thing about Nebby is she will do exactly the opposite of what you want her to do. So if I use reverse psychology, please don't go in. Don't go in there, Nebby. No, no. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. I got you. Good girl. I am just gonna have to grab him now though, because I can't leave that open because she will jump out unless I can distract her somehow. Good boy. Adele is here. I've just seen her cute little van pull around the corner. So the chinchillas are all good. Adele just has such a way with any of the small pets where as soon as she's holding them, they're instantly calm and relaxed. I have never seen Nebby that chilled around a person. So that was really nice. But having these like 6 monthly checkups, I find so important for the chinchillas, especially because I am still so new to owning them, but I don't know what to look out for as much as I do with other pets. So yeah, glad they are all okay. And then with the mice, the lumps are on Sphinx's side and back. They are just like warty growths, and she's not worried about them either, which is good. For Cedar, she does have some sort of eye infection, so I've got medication for that. And she also started to make that like clicky noise when she breathes during the appointment. She's not doing it today, weirdly, but I do have medication for that just in case. I've also got extra eye drops because although Cedar's eyes are the ones that are kind of watery and like completely crusted shut, some of the others do have very slightly watery eyes and like crusty bits on the hair around their eyes. So wondering if it is some sort of like infectious eye infection between them, or if it's just the stress of the recent introductions that's caused it in the older mice. But a couple of them are starting to have watery eyes as well, just not as bad as Cedar's. So yeah, they've got medication to get them sorted, and luckily they're relatively easy to give them eye drops and medication. It's not too bad. So what is going on with River? I feel like I don't really talk much about her on here or my own Instagram and social media because she has got her own Instagram and I just update everything on there because I'm aware that not everyone is following my like main account for like daily doses of dog stuff. So I made her her own separate Instagram, and to be honest, I use that more than I use my own Instagram because my life is very, very centered around River. So definitely go and follow her Instagram if you're not already, because that is the best place to keep up to date with everything that's going on. So there's been a couple of things that have been going on for months and months, and everything is like so interconnected. The relationship between potential pain and behavior is like so closely knit, and not everyone, especially people that you would expect to know, is aware how closely related those two things are. So it's been a bit of a struggle. She has had some behavioural things that we've been trying to work through. She is such a confident dog in some situations because I have put so much effort in those early days, and then all since then in socialising her, training her in different situations. She is a dog that is so fine with things that you'd expect a dog to be scared of, like a loud ambulance going past or something. But she has had behavioural changes that just don't make sense to me, to dog trainers, to other people online that I've spoken to about this. There is just no pattern or particular trigger to her behaviour. She has just shown some fearful behaviour towards us at times, towards Hubble, towards like the noise of the stairs settling in the house. It's never the same thing. One day it can be something that just completely terrifies her. The next day, not bothered, and she will never be bothered by the same thing. So it's just so strange and hard to get on top of, because it's not like I can go out and look for specific things that she's scared of to train with them because I never have any idea what it's going to be. So around the same time that she started to become really randomly fearful of things that she's otherwise fine with on other days, she started, my camera battery is flashing, of course it is. She started to have a weird coat change on her back. She started to get a mohawk on her back, which is not a normal coat pattern for a retriever. They should have relatively soft, flat hair. Sometimes it is going to stick up a little bit, but this is literally like a mohawk on her back, and it was in other places too, like on her hips and stuff. So not normal. I didn't realize this at first, but I have now started to look into it. So those appeared around the same time. So she has started to have regular physiotherapy sessions, and we've been discussing this like coat change, behavior change, and we've been kind of working on it. And honestly, talking about this online has been a little bit nebby, a little bit of a double-edged sword, because on one hand I've had so many helpful suggestions from complete strangers and people sharing their similar stories, saying that although it's super scary to hear, saying that their dog started randomly barking at things and it turns out they had no other signs, turns out their elbows were dislocating and things. So it's scary to hear, but I've had so many helpful strangers. And then on the other hand, I've had so many horrible comments and messages saying that it's my fault, I've obviously not trained her very well, or I should just love my dog as she is, which trying to figure out what's going on with her is because I love her. Like, ignoring the problem is not loving her if she needs that help. So yeah, it's just been a lot. I've had support in places that I never expected to come from, and sometimes the people you expect to be there through stuff like this with your dog, they're just not. So nebby. So yeah, I've been to 2 separate vets about this. Both times I've been completely dismissed. I've mentioned a history of other dogs related to River that have been recently diagnosed with things like hip dysplasia. They've not shared that publicly, so I'm not gonna share which dog it is, but that is a concern. So I've been to 2 separate vets, both times dismissed. The most recent time I went in there like with a big list of problems, everything I wanted looking into, things I wanted to try, tests, scans, things like that. And I felt like I was being laughed at. Like, I felt like I was going crazy for being concerned about my dog, when there's so many people out there that just ignore their dog's behavior, ignore their dogs being in pain. I honestly felt like I was crazy for going to that appointment. So just to stop me waffling so much, I've summarized everything that happened and I've sent it as an email to the vet just to express my concern and to try and like move forward with things, because I can't keep hopping between vets. I'll have to, and I will do, if they don't take me seriously, but I've written everything down just kind of explaining what happened, so I might as well read it. So it says, on Wednesday the 30th, I had an appointment to discuss concerns with my dog River. Over the past few months, she has had both behavioural and physical changes. Number 1, random fear, barking and growling with no specific trigger or pattern to what she is barking and growling at. At times it's even towards us, or when she's just resting in the house and we come downstairs in the dark, etc. This is not her usual temperament. I have extensively socialised and trained her from 8 weeks old to prevent something like this, and with 80% of changes in behaviour, I'm pulling out all the statistics here, 80% of changes in behaviour are due to underlying pain, my dog trainer recommended I get to the bottom of it and book an appointment. Also, at times she is withdrawn, reluctant to do things she used to enjoy, and refusing high value foods on walks or training, etc. She also has a tension pattern of the coat along her spine for a few months now that is often caused by myofascial? Don't know, but I'm throwing the big words in there. This is often caused by myofascial pain. This twitches independently at times, and a physiotherapist has confirmed the muscles beneath this feel tight. Also, one of her relatives has just been diagnosed with hip dysplasia, and I have concerns that she might be experiencing something similar. Unfortunately, after her quick examination on Wednesday, I was told that she wasn't in pain. Her hair flicks is just a normal coat pattern, and that what I'm experiencing is just a training issue. I did request further testing to investigate and make sure there isn't any underlying pain, as dogs can hide it well, but knowing my dog, I know that something isn't quite right. Unfortunately, I was denied further investigation or trialing of any pain or anxiety medication to see if that would help. I got quite emotional during the appointment after this, as it's really starting to affect my mental health. To see my lovely dog that I've put so much time and effort into experience changes and wanting to get to the bottom of it. Over the past few days, I felt disappointed and disheartened that I didn't get what I was hoping for out of her appointment. However, I have self-referred her to, and the name of the clinic, basically a pain management clinic, and they're going to do a full pain and gait assessment based on all of her symptoms. Please could the consent form for this be filled out ASAP. I hope going forward, if any concerns are identified by this lady, I will be able to go ahead with further necessary testing without too much difficulty to help River if she needs it. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I really don't want to come across like I'm complaining, but I had concerns that other owners who might not be aware of subtle signs might not advocate for their pets and seek further opinions after being told their pet is likely pain-free. So that is how that appointment went, and it's something that I've been dealing with for months and months, and it's just really frustrating when something that is your day-to-day life and consumes your brain so much. Like, I worry about River every waking second of the day. I know it's not a healthy amount to worry about a dog, but I have put so much effort. I've put pretty much my life, which wasn't really much of a life anyway, but I've put so much time and energy into making her the best version of herself that she can be, which at the moment is on pause because we're trying to figure this whole thing out. But it's just really disappointing that something that I struggle with so much day to day amounts down to like a 30-minute appointment of not being believed, being told that I'm too emotional for getting upset during the appointment because I wasn't being listened to. So yeah, that is how that went. The moral of the story of telling you this is please be so in tune, whether it's a dog or a cat, your rabbit, if there's any changes in behaviour or really subtle things about them physically, always try and seek out a vet. And if you feel like you're not being listened to, get a second, third, fourth opinion, ask for help online. I have had so many good suggestions that have led me to finding a different person that's hopefully going to help identify what is going on. I don't want her to have a problem, but if there is one, I want to know about it. So yeah, that is what's going on with River. I don't really talk about her much on here, but it's intense. It's intense having a dog anyway, and then trying to train one to be an assistance dog and then things not going smoothly. It takes a toll on you. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't disheartened and disappointed that things aren't going how I expected or hoped them to. I wouldn't be human if I didn't have those feelings, but yeah, I'm just concerned about her that something more serious is going on. And hopefully moving forward in appointments with other people, I'm going to be listened to about this. But yeah, just seek second opinions if you don't feel like the first one is really taking the entire picture on board for whatever pet, whether it's a dog, a cat, mice, whatever you've got. I actually hate this time of year because not only do you lose usable dog walking hours, but when you do something like I do and you film like most of your day, it's dark all the time and the clips look like this. I can't do anything about it. Like, my camera settings are on the highest they can go. I've got the lights on. I'm not wearing matching socks. But I'm about to take River on a really small walk just to finish the day off, because when she has physio, she doesn't really need a walk that day because it's quite like intense on her muscles, I guess. So she does say that sometimes she might be a bit sleepy and might not want to walk, but I'm going to take her on just a quick one anyway. She had a really big one yesterday, so I'm going to do that. But yeah, today is pretty much over because it gets dark at like 4 o'clock. But yeah, that was a day in my life of taking all of my pets to a vet appointment or treatment appointments. It has been a bit of a struggle recently. I don't have as many options when it comes to vets as I might have done in the past. I'm trying new vets and not having the best experiences, but I'm so grateful for vets like Adele that are they just do the absolute most, and they treat every single animal with respect, and they listen and they take everything on board. So yeah, vets like Adele are just worth their weight in gold, because they are few and far between sometimes, unfortunately. But yeah, that was it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!